Hi friends. So how many of you are going on vacation this summer? Everybody? Everybody? Yeah. So we don't do that. So we don't go on vacation. That's not something we do. We've never really been super big vacationers. Money usually is the reason, I'm not gonna lie. But also for a really long time, we always lived at the beach. So it's silly to like go on a vacation when you already live where you would vacation, right? And I want to go to like Disney sometime with my family sometime when they're older. But at the same time, I don't really want to spend that kind of money going to Disney. And I think it's crazy. I have friends who go every year and I'm just like, how do you do that? Because it's like buying a car. Right? Like, let's be honest, like going to Disney is seriously like buying a car. Like you need a lot of money to go to Disney and make it a really good trip. Excuse me. So how many of you are like me and you're just like staying home and just not really having a life? Anyone else out there not having a life this summer? So I don't have a life. I don't do much. I sometimes will make plans with people, but sometimes we don't make plans. Or we make plans and then we cancel plans. I'm that friend. Like, I don't intentionally make plans and then cancel plans, but I will say that this summer, I only had a couple things so far that I wanted to go do. And unfortunately, it was just double booking things that I had totally intended on attending one thing, and then something happened and we had to go do something else. And that kind of bummed me out because I don't have a lot of plans. I don't make a lot of plans. And so if I have something that I actually want to do and I don't get to do it, I really feel bad about it. And then I also don't want my friends who actually took the time to invite me to think that I'm that person who never comes. So if you're the friend who invited me to do something this summer and you didn't see me, it may have been because there was something going on. I definitely am not someone who makes a ton of plans. I try not to be like overbooked. I have people in my life who I love dearly, and I definitely look at them and think, wow, you know, you have such a fun life because they're so busy doing fun things all the time. That would exhaust me. I don't think I'm the type of person who could have something going on every single day. That just even thinking about that makes me go, ugh. Like, I just can't. It's exhausting enough when I work and I'm working all week. Like, I don't want to, on my break, be busy every day just so that I might not get bored. I'd rather be bored, I guess. I'm okay with boredom. Bored? I'm okay being bored. I grew up not having a lot going on, and I guess that even now, like, it's okay if I don't have anything going on. There are definitely times where I get really grumpy about it, and you can ask my husband if you're friends with us. Like, I definitely don't like sitting at home all the time, but I'm also just such a homebody. Like, I would rather be home than be someplace that makes me uncomfortable. So it's this total double-edged sword where either I'm off and I'm doing stuff and maybe having fun, but probably wishing I was home, or I'm home and kind of wishing I had a life. Is anyone else out there like that? Like, do you struggle like that at all? Because that's a legit thing that I struggle with. Like, I want to go do stuff and I try and come up with something to do, and then in the end I'm still sitting at home because I can't come up with anything that sounds like it's worth it. I don't know. I just don't know. Like, even here's a for instance. We have a pool down the road, community pool for our neighborhood, and it's not like it's even like around the block or anything. It's just down from us, and I still don't go every day because, sorry, my cat is like destroying something. I don't go every day because you have to get up and you have to, you know, put your suit on and go down there, and then if you get hungry or something, then you have to come back, and then you go back, and it's just a thing. But then when we do go, on the days we go, I have fun. I like going to the pool. It's whatever. I hate it when kids come and play Marco Polo. I didn't know how much I hated that game until this year. Because there's this one girl who always wants to play with the kids she's watching. And one, she cheats. And two, it's so loud and annoying. Like, don't cheat. And don't annoy the other people at the pool who are there to chill and relax and read a book. Because that's what I usually do. I usually have a book. So, I don't know. Like, we just don't really make a lot of plans. And it's just funny to me. And then when we do have something going on, it tends to fall into the same time that everybody wants to do something. Like, I will go days not hear from anyone, we don't have anything going on, and then all of a sudden I have like 3 or 4 things that's all supposed to happen all at the same time. And I'm like, where were you guys a week ago when I was sitting here with nothing to do? Why? And that's how this week has been. Definitely this is a week where we don't really have anything going on, and then it's like all of a sudden I want to do all these things, but I don't have enough time to do everything, and it's trying to prioritize and just feeling very like I'm going to end up sitting in my house and not doing anything again. Because that happens a lot too. Like, if there's so much going on and I can't figure out where I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to do, then I'll just be like, so staying home. Like, I'm not doing it. So I mentioned on my Instagram that I was going to talk about that. Talk about like canceling plans and having that whole fear of missing out and what anxiety does. And I really truly believe that for those of us who have like any kind of social anxiety, I think it's hard sometimes, because if you're like me and you have that, sometimes it can manifest when you're making plans to go do stuff, and sometimes it doesn't. So when you start not feeling good, you can't figure out, is it legit like you're having a weird, like something's going on, or is it just your anxiety being like, I don't want you to leave the house today? And I seriously struggle with that, like where I'm supposed to go do something and then all of a sudden I don't feel good and I'm like, why? Like, I was fine. I don't think I'm feeling weird, and then all of a sudden I like can't go do anything, and it stinks. And once the summer already, like, I pushed through feeling like junk because I thought for sure it was just my anxiety, and then I ended up having to leave where I was and come home because I was for real sick. Like I couldn't stay there, and I totally think it was partially from anxiety, but it was causing me issues, and I was like, I can't stay here. I'm gonna like throw up. I have to go. Like, really, anxiety? Like, can I have a life, please? Can I hang out with people? Can I just not be at my house for a day? That'd be great. And sometimes it doesn't bother me and I can go and do whatever, but there are so many days where I legit feel like I'm gonna throw up the whole time, and it's horrible. It's not fun at all. Not even kind of. And I just thought it was so fitting, because I know so many people who have social anxiety and they struggle like that, where they're like, yeah, I want to go do stuff. And then all of a sudden they're like trying to find an excuse to not do whatever it is that they're supposed to do. And it's sad, because then your friends think you're horrible and you're just like, but it's not my fault. And it's this whole thing. I think when I was younger, I had the same issues and I struggled with it, but I was able to go through it better. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was just like because I was young and had a little bit more of that like carefree attitude, but I could push through things a lot easier when I was in my teens than I can now as an adult. Now as an adult, I'm like, I don't really think it's worth it. And I just don't do stuff. And it's just a horrible thing. This is my horrible coming clean, being honest, and sharing this little secret about myself. Because honestly, I don't like for people to think that I don't want to do things. And God, if my friends are watching this, don't not invite me to things, because that's not what I want. I'm just saying, like, there are definitely times where I get invited places and I'm like, and it's nothing other than my anxiety. That's all it is. It's just anxiety. Because as much as I want to spend time with people, when I do spend time with people, it can be really, really, really overwhelming. Like, it can be so much harder for me than you realize, because I struggle with just like feeling everyone else's feelings. Like if I'm in a room with people and anyone's angry or sad or too hyper or anything like that, it kind of doesn't bounce off me as much as I want it to, and it'll like get in me and I'll feel that way. Sucks. I hate being a emotional sponge, basically. I mean, emotions just like get in me. Like they just bother me so much, and it's so frustrating because I'm just like, why do I feel angry when I'm fine? Like, who's angry? And no one wants to own up to their own feelings. So then I'm just sitting there like, one of you is doing something. But then there's the whole like communication and just having to like be up and be on and, you know, think before I speak, which is not easy at all. I hate having to slow down and take the time to like process before I have a conversation. And I have to do that a lot more when I'm with people than if I'm just home with my family. Because I don't want to say anything that offends anyone, and I don't want to like talk about inappropriate things, which may not really even be inappropriate, but maybe just are not like conversations for that moment. I don't know. It's just a lot. It's a lot to like be around people. And so, yeah, I just struggle with that so much. But then again, like I want so much to have a life and to be able to spend time with people and to go out and have fun and be that fun person. And then I'm like, let me hide in my cocoon, which is why I'm coming from you today in my bedroom in this darkness, because I just felt like it was fitting to like be in like my dark room, because this is where I go when I'm really struggling. I just kind of hide out in here, maybe watch TV on my computer. But yeah, I think that there's so many of us who struggle, and I just wonder like, how do you push through it and how do you cope? Because for me, a lot of times I just suck it up. And if it's really something that's hard, like straight up, like I'm struggling, I might even take medicine to try and help me through it, because I don't want to miss having a life. And so I might take something to like take the edge off so I can get through. So then there's that, because I don't like to take medicine. But I do oils and stuff that help with my anxiety, and it really does help for so much of it. But there are times where, you know, even that doesn't always completely cover the problems. So I just thought it would be interesting to hear other people's thoughts on fear of missing out versus your anxiety. Like, how do you get to have a life when you struggle with having a social anxiety? So I would love if any of you have this issue, if you could comment, because I really don't know the answer necessarily. I just have ways that I get through. And true story, I mean, I don't have much of a life because a lot of times I do let my anxiety take over. But I think it's interesting how many people suffer from it and don't talk about it. So let's talk about it. Let's open the dialogue and see what everyone else has to say. So comment below. And we'll be back with another topic another day. Have a blessed week.